Okay, talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say what he can't do.
I think I had that all my life. I always had to prove somebody wrong, and, you know, still to this day. That's just the competitive that I believe my oldest brother built into me when I was little.
And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now for this very talented guard.
And, you know, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the opening man and getting some easy baskets.
Well, another thing that's immediately gone right for them is their three-point shooting.
So on the floor for Golden State to begin this second quarter. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. Maurice Spates out there with Bogut, and it's Iguodala in at the small forward. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Maurice Spates.
Boy, I tell you, the Warriors did something that no other team had ever done before. They ended the regular season ranked first in field goal percentage and field goal percentage defense. Essentially, they were the best offensive and defensive team in the league. Remarkable.
No good from Bogut. Pacers trail by 7, and he's going to get whistled for that foul. Gee, that was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for the Warriors. Last season for the Warriors really dominated from beginning to end to lead the league and break both offensive and defensive efficiency.
And Kevin, a lot of people knew the Warriors were good at offense. I mean, but they've been equally as good defensively over the past few seasons, kind of flying under the radar for whatever reason. Not the case going forward.
Here is Livingston. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. It's hauled in by George. The Pacers have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. The foul called on Festus Ezeli. That's his first foul. The Pacers making a switch here. Hill's checked in. And we're now about a minute and a half into the second quarter. From down in the low post, it goes. Hill's got his first bucket of the night.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop. And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
In the corner, George with it. They grab their own miss. Back to Ellis. Tries again. That one is good. He's only missed one shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
Monte Ellis has always had an...
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
He had a number of big second halves and fourth quarters for the Mavs. Really took over that primary scoring role from Dirk Nowitzki. Stole a lot of games for them last season.
The Warriors trailing. Here is Livingston. And here is Barbosa. Pass to Ezeli. Now here is Bogut. Shot clock at 6. For 3, Barbosa. There's the bucket. Good. Barbosa's got his second bucket of the night.
Yeah, Monte did have a lot of big second halves for the Mavs last season. Seems like at least half a dozen games for them, he would just take over. Started to get looked at as the top go-to guy late.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the stripe.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And for Monte, it makes sense to go to him late in games. He's so fast that he can create a shot anytime he wants, and very rarely does he not give you a chance to win with just one shot remaining.
All right, fans, that was your Pacemates. Let's let them know how great they were and make some noise.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. They get it back. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Ellis has got 8 here in the quarter.
These defenders look overmatched right now, especially inside.
Well, they've given up 10 of the last 12 points from close range. So I'd have to agree with you, partner. No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Mahimi's checked in for Indiana. Hill comes in for Ellis. Golden State also making some changes. Draymond Green comes in for Andrew Bogut. And it's Barnes in for Sean Livingston. And here's Indiana. They're on a 14-5 run here. So many great statistics are available to demonstrate just how dominant the Warriors were last season. My favorite is, GA, their point differential.
You know, to be able to beat your opponent by double digits on average is something only 8 teams have been able to do in the history of the league.
It's amazing. Barbosa passes to Iguodala. Barbosa kicks to Green. Tries to keep it alive. There's 1:47 left here in the second. Here's George. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
For 3, Barbosa. Good. Barbosa's got 8 points.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
The drive by Hill. An easy 2 points on the layup. And the Pacers lead by 1.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here that they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
Azili dishes to Green. And he banks in the layup. 9 points in the game so far. Clarkie talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, not even through the first half, and it's been one heck of a battle.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes. And not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Well, they ought to be. I mean, that's basic basketball time management. You've got to be aware of your clock and your situation. Well, if this game comes down to the rebounding battle, they'll be the ones coming out on top.
They've had a strong game on that front, Clark, no doubt about it. Yeah, after a first quarter where they struggled from long range, they've really started to get it closer to the basket.
Yeah, and that's a nice adjustment on their part, Greg. Even for the best three-point shooting teams, sometimes you've got to do a little something different to get your offense going.
There's 10 seconds left here in the second. Now Barbosa. Green passes to Barbosa. And the first half comes to a close.
Yes, Kevin, here.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Hope you've been enjoying the excitement so far. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. It was a great half of basketball from Monte Ellis. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
What a game for Ellis. He's got 14 points, and he's been pretty steady grabbing rebounds, too.
And I think that's an area he's intentionally focused on here today.
Paul George is out there with LaVoy Allen. Then it's George Hill. Then there's Ellis. And it's Turner in at the center position. That's the group starting the second half for Frank Vogel. George, no good.
And guys, as remarkable as Steph Curry's offensive game is, I think what's underrated is how he competes on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, not the strongest nor most explosive player, but he continues with activity and plays with tremendous effort.
Wasted no time on that one. That's 7 points for Barnes. Pacers leading by 3. It's stolen by Bogut. And now Bogut running the floor all by himself. Powered down with both hands.
That is such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
And it's one thing to get the steal, but to so alertly turn it into a transition opportunity, even better.
And speaking of Curry's activity defensively, he's certainly got a nose for the ball.
Yeah, he does a nice job at his size rebounding as a guard, and he keeps his hands active in the passing lanes, and he's usually near the tops in the league in steals.
Hill, he's checked in for the Pacers. Livingston kicks to Green. And Curry, here we go. Dishes it to Barnes. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Indiana. Turner's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Ellis. Indiana again missing.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Livingston, and it's Golden State with another.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
For Indiana, they've gotten just 1 of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Ellis goes in, goes back up, and there's the nice layup by Hill.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
Well, for Jordan Hill, something wonderful happened to him last season. The breakthrough he'd been waiting for on his 6th year.
Yeah, Kevin, you know, it had to do, and I think correlated with him getting a chance to start games, and it blew up for him from there. Posted career-high averages across the board.
And Indiana making a change here. Miles is checked in, and the Warriors also making a change. Spates is checked in. Worked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for the Pacers. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now.
And getting back to Jordan Hill, everyone had been waiting for this. I mean, greater activity, more aggressiveness, and he puts up career highs in points, rebounds, and assists.
Shots good by Turner.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
On the topic of Jordan Hill, hey, there aren't many guys like him with his size who can move that well. He's entering the prime of his career right now. Will he continue to ascend, or will he be content with where he's at? Time will tell.
Here's Livingston. And again, it's the Warriors missing. Pacers leading by 8. Feeds it to Ellis. Hill dishes to Stuckey. Miles the pass to Ellis. Picked him clean. Oh, and here comes Barnes all alone. Livingston kicks to Spates. It's stolen by Hill. And up the court come the Pacers on the break. Ellis dishes to Hill. Curry against Ellis. And it's sent back by Bogut. And so the ball out of bounds. Bogut touched it last. Mahinmi's checked in for Turner. Then for the Warriors, Andre Iguodala is checked in for Barnes. And it's Thompson in for Sean Livingston. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Just 5 on the clock. Stuckey can't get it to go.
And for a long time now, Indiana has protected the rim. It's one of the core elements of their defense and why they are so strong on D every year.
They're getting on the roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
And here's Iguodala outside. And again, it's the Warriors missing. And last year for Indiana, top 3 at protecting the rim. Opponent shot under 50% right at the hoop clock.
You know, that number might not sound like a lot, but being under 50% on essentially layups, that's a big deal. Protecting the rim is a huge part of winning basketball.
No good from Bogut.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
What a year for the Warriors. Clark won their division for the first time in 39 years, ran away with the very tough Western Conference.
And there were a number of surprises last season, Kevin, but the Warriors were at the top of the list. I mean, I don't think anybody, including you and I, pegged them to be as good as they were.
Especially the way the finals began.
Exactly.
Hill, he's checked in for Monte Ellis. Golden State also making some changes. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Bogut. And it's Barbosa in for Steph Curry. From deep three-point range, and with that shot, the Indiana lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Barbosa.
And the Warriors won 51 games back in 2014, improved that mark by 16 wins last season. Among teams that won at least 50 games in the previous year, that 16-game improvement was an NBA record for the Warriors.
Iguodala, the pass to Thompson. And here's Green outside. It's rebounded by Indiana. They've held a 12-point lead earlier.
It goes without saying the Warriors set franchise records all over the place with their play. Their win total being the highest ever. But also of note, it was the first time they've won 50 games in back-to-back seasons. They seem to truly have arrived as a top-notch franchise in this current state of the NBA.
And he's been passive today, but maybe that's what he needs to get him going, because for them to be successful, he's got to be a little more selfish.
Pacers have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight.
And their free throw percentage as a unit last year, 76%, right around the middle of the road.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Allen's checked in for Hill. Paul George comes in for Solomon Hill, and George Hill's subbed in for Rodney Stockton. Barnes, he's checked in for the Warriors. Curry comes in for Leandro Barbosa.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg just with the doctor ordered us some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. For Indiana, they have attempted 11 free throws today and converted 8 of them.
They're doing a great job here in the second half. They've brought their free throw percentage up quite a bit. And that's winning basketball. That's one of the ingredients in winning basketball. Good free throw shooting.
Curry kicks to Green. This one for 3. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 6 assists here tonight. The 3 from George. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. Warriors trail by 5, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Yeah, it's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Barnes and Green are the forward set. And it's Bogut in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Golden State moving the ball around. From deep, Green. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Ellis dishes to Turner. Off the screen. Here's Allen. The stupendous finish in traffic. And the Pacers lead by 4.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
And here's Green outside. It's rebounded by Indiana. Hill has the open look. That falls. Nice speed that time from George. And it's a 7-point Pacer lead.
This is what happens when he gets on a roll. I mean, you're not going to see a better rhythm shooter than this guy.
Count that one.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range.
Well, from the moment he stepped into the league, Klay Thompson was lights out in terms of shooting. Clark, he has never had a problem knocking one down.
Well, the first player in league history to notch 500 made threes in his first 3 seasons in the league. That is remarkable.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Frank Vogel gave to his team during that last break. His advice clear-cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose. I don't care what the lead is. We do not back off.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Warriors trail by 6.
And for Thompson, his three-pointer was his calling card early on, but I love the way he's expanded his game every season. He's become a very good defender and broadened his offensive game as well.
Hill, no good.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
You know, and speaking of Thompson expanding his game, he's also come out of his shell a little bit. Very quiet early on, but he has gotten more and more comfortable in the league and becoming more outspoken.
No good on the free throw. A nice bounce back year for Harrison Barnes, Clark, in year 3. Moved into the starting lineup last year and really responded.
Yeah, he did. I think he benefited from the new system. He was miscast as an isolation scorer, but when he can spot up for threes and catch the ball on the move, that's his game.
It's stolen by Bogut. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. Here's Curry. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Well, you talk about clutch plays, defensively and offensively. We saw both right there.
And the gap's narrowing right now, Clark. Every second from here on out counts. Neither team can afford to make mistakes. You got to manage the clock and play smart. I'll tell you what, Harrison Barnes, very athletic. He certainly passes the eye test. And with his size, he can punish smaller wings and create mismatches. And then also he can play some small ball power forward at times as well with the way they like to space the floor.
Curry gets the bucket.
Add another triple to their second half total.
They came out of the break just dropping bombs and just are not letting up at all.
George with the screen on Curry. Hill passes to George. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Here's Golden State now. They're on an 11-3 run. Got a piece of it. Stolen by George. And here we go. Ahead. And Ellis the bucket on the assist by Hill. Hill's got 6 assists now in the game. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Pacers.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
And you talk about Harrison Barnes overall. He had a nice uptick in his rebounding last year, and that was a goal of his. He wanted to get his activity level up. And oftentimes the difference between being good and great is just making those small incremental improvements in different facets of the game.
For the finish, and George with the stuff.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented. For plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, the great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
And they're able to recover. And a wide open look here for Ellis. Finds himself wide open and drills it.
And this has been purely a display of offense that we're seeing here today.
And, you know, it's only getting better as both of these teams' defenses are starting to show signs of wearing down. This guy knows how to get it done. He knows what he's doing out there. A nice job from the three-point line this half.
Timeout called the Pacers. They're up by 2. 1:37 left in the fourth. The Pacers making a switch here. Mahimi's checked in. 1:37 left in the fourth quarter. And George, here we go. And good on the basket. Book it. And the Pacers lead by 4.
It is so hard to contain him. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
Thompson for 3. Another 3 for Golden State.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Well, I think they're getting caught in that in-between zone, no man's land, giving up 3 straight from beyond the arc right now.
Timeout called the Pacers. They lead by 1. 1:22 left in the fourth quarter. .122 left here in the fourth quarter. And George, here we go. Second chance shot. And Mahimi now atop the key. Ellis kicks to Mahimi. And the layup's good off the glass.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Outside Curry. And another 3 for Golden State.
Just dialed in from the three-point line in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they're putting a world of hurt on them with the triple.
George against Barnes. Now, here's George. He's guarded closely. Rebounded by Bogut.
Hey, I like creativity in a circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
Oh, that's the shot of the game.
Well, he was fearless enough to get it up and down, and it paid off for him.
Clark, a critical possession right here.
Boy, Kevin, you can just feel the crowd on pins and needles right now. Not sure if he just ran out of gas or what, Kevin, but he's been awful ever since the second half started. Not even been a factor.
And the wide open shot from Green. Trifecta!
And really, I like the fact that even with the big lead, they never coasted.
To me, that's a sign of a really good team, Greg, because you should always be playing against the game and yourself. I know there's an opponent out there, but when you have a lead, it's all about continuing to execute. Do what you do and stay true to that. And I like that aggressiveness and full speed ahead kind of attack that they have.
Here's Barnes, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Boy, he is such a ridiculous dunker.
High riser, no doubt about it.
Goodness, I mean, you've come to expect plays like that from him, and folks, that never gets old.
So we see the Warriors get the win here. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, thank you. I'm with Klay Thompson. You were able to really help out your team on the offensive end. What enabled such a big night of productivity for you?
You know, I'm just used to the pace of the game by now, and my teammates do a good job finding me when I'm open, so all credit goes to them. I just catch and fire when I'm open.
Thank you, Klay. We so appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.